Hi everyone, it's Brian Waters here from the QTube. We're doing a very different format of feedback today regarding your submissions for the Neon Cross film that we shared earlier this year. I'm really happy to be here with Archie, who most of you I'm sure will recognise, but we've also got Will and Chloe, who were the people behind the film. So perhaps, Will, can I ask you to quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Will. I helped produce the film and also was the cinematographer.
And Will's also, one of the key people behind the Fortuna film as well that we're currently making. So, yeah, it's great to have you here, Will. Thank you for coming.
Brian. Thanks for having us.
Chloe, can you introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about the film backstory as well, if you don't mind?
Of course. Okay. I'm Chloe. I wrote and directed The Neon Cross. Backstory. I wrote it a long time ago, sort of as a piece of prose or poetry, just to put some visual aspects to it, and shot it as my first short film.
Mm-hmm. It's a really beautiful film. We're really happy to have it in the library. How was the experience? So it was your first one. How was the experience for you of doing that? I mean, it was a great location, wasn't it? A great DOP. Yeah. What can I say?
Allegedly. Yeah.
How was that for you? And like, what did you take away from it?
It was really good. It was honestly like one of the best experiences of my life thus far, not to be dramatic. It was really fun. I felt like I had a really good team. Everyone was very, very supportive. I learned so much that you learn like what you don't know, I think, on those things. But yeah, I was very lucky to have Will there as someone who's more experienced, especially. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, long days, but it was good.
Great, thanks. And Archie, you did the music for it. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that journey?
That was fun because like Will and Chloe were both able to come into my little studio and like write the music together rather than just like, remote working. Like it's really cool to have people in the studio giving notes, and like if I come up with an idea, just to be like, yeah, that works or that doesn't work is really, really helpful and cool.
That's what we do it for, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, now with like generative AI, I feel like that conversation, it removes the sort of human connection of creating music and being there in the moment and figuring it out, knowing what's right and what's wrong.
This is what strikes me about AI recently is that
they got into that.
This wasn't our intention, but like
this is his intention.
I've been hijack the whole thing. The thing that strikes me mostly about AI as a negative is, I mean, there's a lot, but one of the main things is that it's not at all about the process. It's all about the result. Whereas, for us, like the process is a real big part of it, right?
It's the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
Well, it is sort of like the destination too, but the journey is what makes the destination worth it.
Yeah. And I mean, you work that way quite a lot, don't you? Where you have the director in and you kind of work.
I aim to, yeah. Mainly because like from the days of like just me and Will just like sat in my little studio shed, like Will push for that, and now it's something that I always try to do with everyone I work with.
You've done it with Colette, right? And you did it with Fortuna sort of preview and stuff that we did.
Whenever I can, I'm just like, come in.
It's the favourite way to work.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
And what about remote work? Have you done quite a fair chunk of that as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that like some people can't be bothered, or just like, or it's not suitable. But
it's not an option kind of thing.
You guys can. You guys can be bothered.
Everyone here except for me is based in London, so yeah. Alrighty, well, let's get into it. So we had about 30 odd submissions. We're obviously not going to have time to go through all of those, but we've kind of cherry picked a few of them to like listen to together and then just have a discussion about how we feel about the music. So we've got like a 1 minute 55 snippet from the film, I think, something like that. So yeah,
the trailer.
Yeah. So let's get into the first one, which is Ray Shaw, I think, is the first one.
I walked once among men, desperate to contort myself into a shape fit for them, losing myself, hoping they would let me in. Only I am something different entirely.
We create man.
I'm trying to tell you, you can do this.
What if I got rid of you? Maybe you should have. Suddenly she was alone. The way it was meant to be, was gone. It was as though the earth had been poisoned at its core, and the disease had run up through the ground to lay death at her feet.
So, I mean, yeah, I haven't seen it for a while, and it just reminds me, and I don't know when the last time was that you guys watched it, but it's such a beautiful piece of work.
I actually have never seen that trailer before.
Right.
That was a whole new experience.
So you're horrified right now.
Yes. I'm joking. No.
Yeah, our editing. Yeah.
Did you guys edit that trailer?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, you
I
like
don't think.
Yeah.
He was about to say something
Yeah, it's like,
about
well,
that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow. I'm
It
blown
worked.
away. No, I'm joking. It was good. It is good.
It works. It works.
Yeah, it does work.
Yeah, and it's great. Our main priority, of course, is to do something that works as a vehicle for the composers, to kind of get stuck into, and I think it really does.
Yeah.
But yeah, great job, guys. So yeah, like Chloe, just before we go into that, like, did you have any expectations about the music and how it would work with the film prior to working with Archie? And then obviously we're going to hear some different interpretations here today.
Not really, because it was my first time like working with a composer as well. I didn't really know what to expect, but I think how we did it was you sort of gave me ideas and asked like what I liked. I think for next time, and I think this works better for you as well, is for me to have more direction.
Sure.
On where to go. But I think because I was such a like novice, I was like, I don't really know. But yeah, no, not too much. I love like, and I think for the project as well, I like classical stuff. I don't like anything that's too, I don't know, it feels too like production heavy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was definitely more being led on this like first experience, I would say, for sure. Which again, I'm really, really lucky that Will has done films before and that Archie knew what he was doing. Yeah. It was really cool seeing you like write songs on the spot. That was sick. Because I can't do that.
It was fun.
So.
I mean, it really brings it to life, doesn't it? So yeah, let's get into the specifics. I mean, I thought that was great, really.
I think so too.
What did you think? Do you remember when you?
Yeah, I remember this piece, writing the feedback for this. Yeah, I think like the choice of sounds and like the overall timbres and stuff, like chosen so well. And that's like a big part of, that's the first thing you do. And if you get that wrong, then everything's going to be wrong. So that's a really good start with like the piano, even just the sound of the piano and the choice of strings using like scratchy strings and that sort of thing, as opposed to more melodic and like flowing things. Yeah, that's really good. And then sort of the melody and the harmony is nice. It's all kind of dark and atmospheric. It sounds really nice. The one thing I would say is that I think the piece like needs a bit more of an arc to it.
It's a bit kind of constant.
Yeah, and it kind of sounds like you're not really sure where you're going to go with it. So like you've got these really nice ideas, but it's like you're not quite sure where it's leading. And I think the one thing to do when you're writing something like this or like some trailer music is to go ahead and like, before you write any music, just like choose the chunks, like what's going to happen here, what's going to happen here. And then you know where it's going to go, you know where you're leading to. And also I would say that maybe just let the silence play a bit more, or like you've got this humming melody at the end, and there's music over that. But I think that could be a nice moment for just to pull back. Whereas really, actually, it sounds a bit like it's building at that point. But it's quite nicely spotted. Like, you have that nice sort of like climax when she's hitting the guy. Where you have these like flickering strings. That's a nice choice. That was fun to hear, like it building. But yeah, just more of a kind of arc to it. Like, there's basically like 3 sections to the trailer. So you have that opening bit, and then you want a bit of a build, and I think that build could have like taken longer. And then it sort of drops off again. But yeah,
I agree. I feel like it felt quite safe at the beginning until it sort of dropped into the scratchier strings, and then it felt a bit more like there was mystery behind it.
Yeah.
And personally, my initial note would have been to not introduce the piano initially and maybe start with strings to create a bit more mystery in the visuals. And I have a question about the humming. Did you guys provide a sort of soundbite of that, or was that just in the trailer and sort of, I guess, forced upon the melody of the score to sort of work in conjunction with, or were they able to choose a place to place the humming?
It was up to them, because like we provided a version of the trailer where it was like embedded, so there wasn't much they could do. But we always provide also separate audio stems, so they could actually completely mute the visual and kind of plant the audio, if you like, wherever they wanted. But they don't often, I think the community generally don't tend to do that. They tend to go with what we provide as a kind of audio edit as well as a visual edit.
I mean, that's what, if you were, working to a film, that's what you would get. It'd be like, here's the cut.
Don't mess
with
the
lot,
audio.
Yeah.
It's interesting because obviously the humming is the melody of the film. It opens the film, closes the film.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I just wanted to know. And I don't know, I'm curious to see if anyone did actually replace that.
Do you remember? Did anyone?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. When we were writing the score, it was part of it. Like, we used that sort of melody in and out a little bit in parts.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that you would do when you're making the trailer, isn't it? But you wouldn't necessarily do it as a composer once you receive the trailer, right? I guess.
Yeah.
You might suggest it, perhaps.
Yeah. But I think also it's like whether it's suitable for a trailer. I mean, trailers are a bit more like you're trying to create some sort of energy to it. And that's actually something I was going to say about this score, is that it felt like it needed some sort of momentum. Like it needed an element. I don't know if it should be like percussive or like some like repeating kind of arpeggio in the piano, but like something to just provide a bit of momentum, like pushing the trailer forward, because that's something you need in a trailer, I think, to create some sort of energy.
Right.
Yeah.
How did it strike you, Chloe?
I can't follow that. That was like professional feedback using big words. I like the strings. I really love strings in general.
It's good sound.
Yeah, I agree with the arc as well, especially because do they watch the short film? Like, do they get to see it?
Don't think
that would be
anybody's seen
interesting.
the whole film.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
Because I think the story that the music was telling is different to the film, so that obviously struck me.
Yeah.
But obviously if they haven't seen it, that's not their
that is
it's not their fault.
Yeah,
because it definitely kind of almost felt like it was alluding to something much bigger, where it is quite a small film, like nothing really happens. But yeah,
that is a challenge. Yeah, that is a challenge, and in a way it's a kind of shortcoming of what we do, is that sometimes they've got to guess kind of what the bigger story is. I mean, we do try to give notes a little bit, don't we, often with the clips, and tell them what the story is or what the director's expectation or vision might be, but I don't recall actually whether we did with this one. But yeah, they could interpret it in an entirely different way from what the actual film is. But you see that even with trailers, don't you, where you see a trailer in a cinema and you think, oh, this film looks awesome, and then you go and see the film and it's completely different.
Boring thing ever.
Well, often like a composer, like the person who scores the trailer won't be the same person who scored the film, so yeah.
But even the edit kind of misleads you, you a little bit as to, like, for example, the one that you saw the other day, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Unless anybody's got any other questions, maybe for Archie or comments.
I mean, generally, it was a good.
It was
a
was,
good
yeah.
score, like for a trailer, and a good sort of. I mean, if you got presented with that as a first iteration, then
Yeah,
I'd be happy.
You've got something to work with.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got the vibe.
Yeah, good
It's
job.
pretty
Ray.
spot on.
Yeah.
Good job, Ray.
Awesome. Well done, Ray. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Do you remember?
I walked once among men, desperate to contort myself into a shape fit for them, losing myself, hoping they would let me in. Only I am something different entirely.
We create man. I'm trying to tell you, you can do this. What if I got rid of you? Maybe you should have. Suddenly she was alone. The way it was, the way it was meant to be, was gone. It was as though the earth had been poisoned at its core, and the disease had run up through the ground to lay death at her feet.
Wow. Well, thanks, Adam, for submitting that, and thanks to everybody that submitted. Let's start with someone else this time. Will.
Okay. I like that from the get-go there was a sense of comfort and discomfort in the melody. And it sort of continues until that climactic moment where we cut to the person getting beaten up with the baseball bat. Yeah, I feel like there could have been an opportunity for like a change in that sort of in the sounds and the choices at that point. But I do like that it asked a lot of questions. The music made me ask questions about the film, about what's coming, what are we building to? Because it's a nice scene at the beginning with the mother combing the daughter's hair, but then there is that sense of mystery behind it. So yeah, I thought it was generally very good.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers. Chloe, how did you feel about that particular one with your lovely film?
Yeah, I really liked it. I feel like, I don't know if this is just me, but the background, I don't know if it was like the strings or what you would call that, felt sort of medieval, which I really liked. That was really cool, which like suits the tone of the film, I think, because it is set in like a nondescript time. So I think it really spoke to that, which I really liked.
It's almost like a harpsichord or something.
Yeah, I don't know
like
what that would
dulcimer.
Right, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
But I don't know if that's right. It's like some kind of stringy, plucky
Oh,
thing.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really interesting sonic choices with that one, I thought.
Yeah. I think that one like had, like for me, this one, I remember my feedback for this, and I remember that I wrote, which is actually quite mean, which I wrote like really good conceptually, but not quite realized as effectively as it could have been. I think this is a really cool piece. Like it's got like the sounds are great, and it's got like great sort of personality, and like the main sort of like I guess you would call that a bit of a theme, like the like plucky dulcimer type thing you can hear. I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, and I think it's got like a nice arc to it as well, actually. Like it grows, and you can hear the hit points where it kind of like later on in the piece when she sort of you see her walking through the house, and that stuff drops out and you just hear that piano. I think that's all, that stuff is really nice. The only thing that I just thought it was just a bit much, honestly. Like there was quite a lot going on, and you can probably just strip it back a little bit more, and like maybe, I liked the sort of movement of the piano, but it was kind of like trying to hit every point, like here's a big bit, hit this chord, hit this chord, hit this chord.
Trying a bit too hard, kind of.
Yeah. So I think like I really really loved the sounds, and then also just like production wise, just let it sit back a little bit, as in literally just bring the whole mix
level
back, like 5 dB or something,
right?
And then also just drown some of that, like those background sounds in a bit of reverb, because like I don't know, I just think with film, like you can never use too much reverb. Basically, it just really works so effectively to just let it sit back
a little bit. Yeah,
and all of these sounds are quite dry.
Yes.
So I think just to like blend them together.
Yeah.
That
it's
would be
also
a good
the register they're sitting in as well, isn't it? It's
kind of
grabbing your attention.
Yeah, it is. It's sort of competing a little bit. So like that's kind of what I meant by like really good conceptually, but like just tighten it up so that it just sits back nicely and blends a bit better and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Great first iteration again.
Again, exactly.
Lots to work with.
I mean, like these guys, they don't have a lot of time really to like write these pieces, so that's a great thing. And I can sit and say like tidy this up, but like they've just got to get the ideas down basically. So,
and they're doing it blind, aren't they?
Yeah.
So kudos really to everybody.
Yeah, so it sounds great.
It's kind of like a first cut of a film where you sort of overcut it to then watch it, pull it, to dial it back afterwards.
Yeah.
You can see what
produce and then reduce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was great. I felt like it was a bit darker feeling than Ray Shaw's one.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, whether that works or whether it went too far that way, or what do people feel?
I like it. I like something that's like gothic or like whatever.
It was like that. Yeah. It was cool. Yeah.
Do you feel it matched your intention really in that sense?
I think for what they have, yeah, definitely. I think maybe if they had seen like other clips in the film,
more of the film,
yeah,
it would have been maybe a bit too dark.
Yeah, but I think the shots used in the trailer, like,
definitely, just kind of guessing what. Like the tone,
and for a trailer, you want to kind of amp up those feelings.
Yeah, true.
Or like,
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I think we've done that one.
That was a cool one.
All right, let's crack on with another one.
I walked once among men, desperate to contort myself into a shape fit for them, losing myself, hoping they would let me in. Only, I am something different entirely.
We create man. I'm trying to tell you, you can do this. What if I got rid of you? Maybe you should help. Suddenly she was alone. The way it was meant to be, was gone. It was as though the earth had been poisoned at its core, and the disease had run up through the ground to lay death at her feet.
That's my favorite one. That's why I picked it.
You're excited. I
Yeah.
can feel you buzzing.
That was definitely my favorite.
So that was Megan Gillett, I think is the pronunciation, who's submitted for several of our clips. I remember her blacksmith, or your blacksmith piece, we really enjoyed as well. And the energy here after listening to that is really exciting and positive. People really seem to enjoy that. Chloe, maybe you want to start this one. How did you feel listening to that one?
Yeah, that was really good. I feel like the main thing that hit me was she left a lot of room for the trailer to like speak for itself. Like she wasn't like overstepping anything, and then in doing that, obviously it was just supporting the story. I think that's why it was so impactful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like we talked about the kind of arc and stuff. Like it sounds like it grows so organically, like to the point where you're like in it, and then it just cuts, and then
that was really good.
Bit of a smack in the face, you know.
The build up, and then
and it just
literally a smack.
Literally a smack in the face, which is why it works so nicely. And like you can see the marriage between the actual trailer visuals and the voiceover, and then the music as well is really there and really tight, and it blends really nicely.
Yeah, I feel like there was a sense of euphoria at the beginning almost, and married with melancholy, and then it gets darker and darker, and then at that point, and it was one of the previous notes of like changing the melody a little bit or changing tack, making it silent at that point was perfect. And I was really hoping to hear one that did that, and she did it very well.
It was great,
and elegantly as well. It was delicate, and just like Chloe said, it let the trailer speak. It sort of underscored the trailer beautifully, and really worked.
Like technically as well, like we talked about, like just drowning it in reverb and stuff. Like she has done that, and it just sits back really nicely, and it sort of blends, and like I don't know if you've got like pitch bending in there or something, but it creates like a really nice. It just sort of flows rather than like sort of. Picking that kind of flowy, pitch bendy, sort of like legato strings moving is a bit nicer than like harsh sort of one sound, and it just sort of grows and grows and grows, and it's nice. And it like, even though it kind of didn't have like anything percussive or like repeating to provide momentum, it still had some sort of momentum in the sort of changes. I think also because she hit like the hit points and the cuts of the trailer, like it would be like a chord change or some sort of change in the music every time there was a cut in the trailer. That just like helped provide that like slow push forward, Yeah, I thought it was really great.
Brilliant.
So
we're very impressed, Megan. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the feedback. We're gonna maybe have time for one, maybe two more, I think.
Yeah, cool.
I walked once among men, desperate to contort myself into a shape fit for them, losing myself, hoping they would let me in. Only, I am something different entirely.
We create man. I'm trying to tell you, you can do this. What if I got rid of you? Maybe you should have. Suddenly she was alone. The way it was, the way it was meant to be, was gone. It was as though the earth had been poisoned at its core, when the disease had run up through the ground to lay death at her feet.
thank you, Abhay. I think that's how it's pronounced, for your submission. Again, brilliant job as far as I'm concerned. One of the things that struck me as I was listening to this, after listening to a few of them now, and we see this with all of the clips that we provide in our library, is how there's often a common choice, isn't there, of sort of instrumentation and orchestration that people immediately reach for, depending on the nature of the clip. And that's quite interesting. I guess it's sort of almost sonic tropes that are informed by all of cinema history that's gone before us, so the strings and the piano in this case, I think probably quite a few of the entries went for the same.
Did they get a
thing.
temp track as well for this?
I don't think there would have been, no, because it was, I'm not sure.
I mean, I cut it to some music.
Did you? I don't remember.
I think piano and strings.
Right, okay.
We were fighting for the piano.
Yeah, I remember the piano was back and forth a lot.
Oh,
we don't know, maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah, I didn't really. The piano kind of is too much.
Yeah,
I feel like the strings carry it a lot more than the piano does.
The piano just calls your attention, doesn't it?
I just love piano, so I'm like, yeah, put it in there.
Yeah. I didn't want it in there.
So this
was the right choice at the end, because I think I remember when it was us two and you tried something with piano and you're like, no, I hate that, and then got rid. I was like, okay. But like with this one, I loved the very end of this one, which was piano, I think. And that really worked, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was safe in its choices. And I guess you kind of want something a little bit more risky in there. It works, it definitely works, but it's kind of expected. Like, I guess, when we heard the first when I first sat in the studio with Archie, there was loads of piano in there. And I just didn't hear it when we were shooting it. I really wanted like deeper strings, like cello, in there a lot more, because the tone of the film, it kind of has that sadness to it. And I mean, it's a good score for the trailer. Like generally, like I wouldn't be disappointed receiving that. But yeah, you'd want something more risky to stand out a bit more, because you kind of, again, like going back to what I said before, it's like expected.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I always try to emphasize, really, is that, what we do is providing the community, the composers, with the opportunity to take risks that maybe they wouldn't take on a real paid job, and just try and think outside the box a little bit, rather than going for the safe choice all the time. But yeah, it was a really safe, almost, dare I say it, predictable type of approach, wasn't it, to the film? Not necessarily saying that's good or bad, but I felt that, that was an adjective that you could use for it. It was quite safe or quite predictable.
Yeah, and I mean, also, like,
but well executed.
Standing out from the rest, if this feels like the direction to go and that everyone else is going to go in, then, what can you implement that's going to make it stand out a little bit more?
Totally.
I think, like, you can tell, though, like, their composing chops are really there. Like they've hit the hit points, and like it feels again like an organic progression. Like the piano comes in at the beginning, and then you hear the strings swell a bit more on that cut after she's in the bath, and then it moves really nicely, and until you get to that point where the sort of climax of the beating. But yeah, like, it would be cool to hear, like, once you've got this, like, and it's sounding really good, just like think like, oh, what can I add now? And like, what could make it stand out just a little bit, a bit more, or like, you've got the melody, you've got everything in place, just move it into something a bit more experimental, and then see what you can do from that.
It's almost a foundation from which
I think it's like tricky with this, though, because I do think with this particular like less is more for this thing. So it is kind of like
and for the film, I think.
For sure. I think that's another conversation that we went around a lot with, like, adding stuff and then just deciding it was better when it was simple. Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, a good foundation perhaps, and then think, okay, how can we make this actually a little bit more,
push it a little bit?
Yeah. But not heavy-handed. I mean, that's the great thing, as you say. It's really well executed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I think we'll probably do one more.
Yeah, sweet.
Have you got one up?
Yeah, I sent it over.
Okay,
John
great.
Hodes. I can't remember this one, but.
I walked once among men, desperate to contort myself into a shape fit for them, losing myself, hoping they would let me in. Only I am something different entirely.
We create man. I'm trying to tell you, you can do this. What if I got rid of you? Maybe you should have. Suddenly she was alone. The way it was meant to be, was gone. It was as though the earth had been poisoned at its core, and the disease had run up through the ground to lay death at her feet.
All right, thank you, John. You are the lucky final one that we're going to be able to discuss today. So, yeah, great job as far as I'm concerned. Archie, do you want to start with that one?
Yeah, sure. I think for me, this one, I think you have a really nice sound, and you're obviously very good at mixing, and everything sounds nice. It's like a nice use of reverb, and the actual balance between the sort of piano and strings is good. One thing I would say about this one is that, to me, there's a few points where it feels like you haven't quite spotted it. I mean, obviously you have with the tempo and everything, because you're hitting those hit points, and I can tell that you've gone through beforehand and made sure that with the tempo track it hits those hit points. So it's nice in that sense, but it comes in quite strong initially, I'd say. It doesn't quite grow. To me, it kind of just feels like it's kind of meandering through this like trailer, and it feels quite detached from the visuals. Yeah, I'd also say that I think the strongest part of this piece is the sort of middle section as you're growing into that sort of climactic part. But to me, it just kind of loses its nerve, which is what I think I said in the feedback before that climactic part. Like when you actually get there, it just sort of trails off. And it's nice to like use the visuals and let it have its own space. But you've already decided like you're going to build it in the music. So then like letting it trail off and letting the visuals do its thing then doesn't quite work for me. And then once again, at the end, it like comes in quite strong again. And I think it would have been better to just build it and build it and build it, let it hit that climax, then just let the visuals do the work and hear the melody that we have in the background, the humming that we have, and maybe just have like a held drone over that melody in the same key, just to sort of provide a little something underneath. But yeah, to me, it just kind of, it's quite detached, and you're obviously quite confident in your composition, but it's quite detached from the visuals, and it's just kind of going through without any real development or sense of like direction.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. I hope you find that useful, John, and everybody else that's listening. Will, what were your thoughts as we went through that one?
Yeah, I agree. I was sort of taken aback because it came in quite strong.
Yeah.
And I would have liked the build to be more noticeable, whereas you're kind of just thrown straight in, and it wasn't really allowing the visuals to do their work, which I guess is the point of the trailer.
Yeah.
And the arc needs to be more distinct, I feel. But yeah, like melodically it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And again, quite heavy on the piano. Everyone seems to go down that road. But yeah, it was generally nice piece of music.
Yeah.
Chloe, any thoughts on that one?
No, I agree with what y'all said. Because I really liked the choice for this one and the other one we watched to not do music over that like climactic part, or just do like little music. But yeah, I don't know that it worked with the lead up to it, and then also afterwards.
Yeah,
it was quite a like jump scare almost. So I like that choice, but it needs to like work with what's around it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the point is like, as a piece of music, this is great. As a working with the trailer, it's not quite
there.
Yeah.
But something you could certainly use as a basis.
And
absolutely. And develop further. Yeah. Bearing in mind all of those observations, which is what this is all about. So yeah, I think that's probably all we've got time for. So thanks, Chloe. Thanks, Will. Thanks, Archie. And thanks to all of you for watching, for submitting, and for your support for us at the QTube. That's me and Archie. We really appreciate it. We hope you're enjoying the challenges that we're giving you this year and the masterclasses. And we're certainly enjoying your submissions. And we look forward to the next one. And let us know in the comments below what you think about the film, what you think about the submissions, and also what you think about this format of feedback, because it's something that we're just kind of trying out. We haven't done before, so we'd love to know what you think. So thanks, everyone. Until next time, take care, and bye from us.
Bye.
That's it.